Hi, I'm Val Semix. I've worked on Conan, Lobo, and the Demon, and you're listening to 11 O'Clock Comics.
Bang. Zoom. Done in one. Yep. Just happens.
How it do?
They don't see behind the curtain, but yes.
Yas, King.
5 more.
I'm getting sad, man. I'm getting sad.
Getting all droopy and lobby and Dali clock. Yeah, it'll be something.
Guys,
We won't miss you because it's 11 o'clock. What?
I was going to say, I have so much more time to read, though.
It's true. It's 11 o'clock comics, episode 995. And I'm Vince B.
You are Vince B. and I am David A. Price.
That is true. And, of course, I am everyone's favorite wrestling hero, Sammy Destino.
You're not. You Jason Wood, everybody. Together again, here to talk about comics, brought to you by cheapgraphicnovels.com. In case you didn't know, cheapgraphicnovels.com have the lowest price on your manga, your trade paperback, your omnibus editions, your OGNs, anything that has a spine. Cheap Graphic Novels has it for less than everybody else is charging, including Amazon. If you're a first-time customer, here's what you're going to do. You're going to order small, right? You just want to test the waters. You're going to receive an email confirmation from Max saying, we received your order, processing, blah, blah, blah. You're going to reply to your email confirmation saying, I would never have known about the glory of cheapgraphicnovels.com if not for my buddies at 11 O'Clock Comics, and Max is going to give you free shipping on your second order. Free shipping. Repeat after me. Free shipping. That's crazy. That's insane. That's when you order tons of stuff. Tons of stuff. And if that wasn't enough, low prices, free shipping, they have specials.
Oh, do they have specials? This week, I just went DC because, the first one we've talked about many times already. So real quick, this is basically just Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 1, The Last Amazon, hardcover for $14.99, softcover for $12.59. Eisner Award-winning writer Kelly Thompson is joined by breakout artist Hayden Sherman to reinvent Wonder Woman from the ground up, collects Absolute Wonder Woman numbers 1 through 7. DC finest Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle challenges the Red Knight trade paperback $23.99 when archaeologist Dan Garrett discovers a mystical scarab in an Egyptian tomb. He is granted superhuman abilities and becomes the first Blue Beetle. Later, inventor Ted Cord uses his genius intellect to become a more gadget-based version of the Blue Beetle who continues to crusade for justice. This volume collects never-before reprinted Charlton Blue Beetle stories, including the Dan Garrett era issues from Blue Beetle numbers 1 through 5 and Blue Beetle numbers 50 through 54, plus the early Ted Cord stories from Captain Atom numbers 83 through 86, Blue Beetle numbers 1 through 5, and Charlton Bullseye number 1. And lastly, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, Who Killed Jimmy Olsen, the deluxe edition hardcover for $29.99. The Daily Planet's intrepid photographer has found himself in a dangerous situation, and faking his own death is only the first step in untangling an increasingly bizarre web. Jimmy Olsen is dead. Long live Jimmy Olsen, blending a modern sense of humor and style, a hilarious sense of humor and wit, and the bizarre sensibilities of the Silver Age of comics. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen explodes out of Metropolis to the furthest corners of the DC universe and beyond. Jimmy Olsen sure is creating content, but at what cost? Collect Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen numbers 1 through 12. Is this your card?
Is this your card? That
right there is why you need to buy it.
Yeah, pretty much. Cheapgraphicnovels.com. Cheapgraphicnovels.com. Say it.
Cheapgraphicnovels.com.
Good enough. There is another person. There was another person. He's gone. Oh, well. I'm drinking.
I'm not gone, dude. I was muted because my dog was barking his ass off, but I'm good.
Your dog likes it, too. I'm drinking water.
What you got? What you got?
Just
Fresh
plain
from the tap?
blackberry lemonade water.
That's your
It's
go-to
not
these
plain
days.
at all.
It's my go-to.
There you go. I'm drinking Orange G0.
0 for 2.
Need those electrolytes. I am finishing off the bottle of Bard Dog Cabernet Sauvignon.
Nice.
Little cabo. Love it.
Next week I'll have some point. It's about time.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think so.
Make it happen.
We are gathered here today. It's Dark Comics.
True that.
That's facts.
You want me to start?
If you'd like. I mean, I'm always happy to start. I'm happy to let you start. I'm happy to let Dap start. I'm pretty chill dude, you know?
Flexible.
Pretty chill dude. This is written by Jason Aaron
Aha.
with art by Mahmud Asrar, Ciro Cangelosi, or Cangelosi? Yeah.
Cangelosi? Aren't you the Italian one?
I don't think you say the G.
Really?
Yeah.
You would like, if it was like
The
Manzione, you
G
would.
is, yeah, it's weird, it's strange. You do say it in Giuseppe,
Yes.
as in Giuseppe Camangoli,
Right.
and Daniele Orlandi, with colors by Adriana Corsani. So, in fact, this has 1, 2, 3, 4 artists and a colorist.
Paisans aplenty.
Yes, they're all Italian. Well, most of
Mahmud.
them. Yes, for Mahmud.
He's Turkish, but
It is Uncle Scrooge, Earth's Mightiest Duck, Part 1. It is the first issue. There's not a whole lot of lifting here.
no.
Scrooge wakes to find his beloved dollar bin pilfered. There's nothing in his stash. They have been taken from him, and there are a bunch of gigantic alien organisms that are calling for him to give up the coins. Give up the coins. Give up the coins. And he's like, okay, I'll give up. I won't. And he runs away. But it's amazing because Scrooge fights like crazy. I wish I had 1/10 of what Scrooge has.
Got old man strength.
Because when you think about it, the ducks are at least 3 times as big as he. At least 3 times. And he holds his own with them. They get harder to beat every time he beats them. He beats them once. Let's see how many times he beats them. He beats them once. He beats them twice. Third time he runs away. He's smart. He's very smart. But the problem is, Duckburg, which used to surround the money bin, is now turned to sand. Where is Duckburg? Where's Duckburg? I don't know how deep I should go in pilfering this issue, but needless to say, it's all on Scrooge to solve the problem, right? The what do they call them? The controllers, the connoisseurs. The connoisseurs
Yeah, on the connoisseurs.
are to pilfer and plunder the resources of the planet in search of the magic coins, and they will stop at nothing to reach this end. It kind of made me laugh where Governor Gander is speaking for the people. give anyone, it would be candor. Is speaking for the tunes, and Donald is the hero. Albeit briefly, Donald is the hero with Huey, Dewey, and Louie are in tow, and it's just a good time issue with you get 3 different visual opinions of Scrooge. You get the virtual with the Mahmud. You get the old-timey with who, I want to make sure I get this right. It doesn't look like Giuseppe Camuncoli, but I guess it is. 18 to 23, right? And you get a future kind of XD pen. Get off my screen. It looks great to my eyes. It looks really good. If I paid double what I paid for this issue, I would be vindicated. I don't know if you feel the same way, Jason.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, obviously, this is a follow-up project after everyone seemingly loved Jason Aaron's one-shot last year with Scrooge. And so they're going back to the well. And, yeah, I thought it was great, man. I mean, obviously, got love for Mahmud. Got love for Aaron. I thought... I love a good caper. I mean, what's not to like about this issue? It was probably my most anticipated issue of the week too, and I think it delivered. I think it really did. I can't wait for the subsequent issue. But yeah, no, I love the idea of like, because like the multiverse, like we all talk about like as a comics fans, we're so used to things like multiverses and stuff, and like time shifting and alt realities, and it's just kind of like a second language for all of us. Even though for a lot of people, it's less inclusive or impenetrable or a turnoff. But I when it's well executed, I think it's hard to be a comic fan and not like that kind of stuff. And obviously, the idea of having Scrooge having to pair up with a bunch of his different alter egos that have been characters that have been portrayed in older Scrooge stories, through the years. I think that's fun. So yeah, I'm here for it, man. Just another great idea. I just love that they're doing these. I think it's. I wish they were doing more. Like not like more like Scrooge per se, but like just more. I wish they were being more creative with blending all of these wonderful, rich IPs that they own and just doing like really fun things with them. And like I'm not talking about like I'm not talking about like the quick cash grab, like Alien versus Predator versus Godzilla. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, again, stuff where the creators are really passionate about it and are genuinely coming at it from a place of love and wanting to do something really special with it. And I just wish we got more of it, because every time we do it, it's usually pretty badass.
It is good. It's basically the same story as the other Uncle Scrooge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
But it's more drawn out.
I mean, isn't Uncle Scrooge usually about, like,
pretty much?
Yeah. I mean,
pretty much.
Yeah.
But, holy man, won't be because you look at it and it's like one is one worth Mahmud Asrar, right? Okay. He cut his teeth on Conan and, the savage stuff, but he can do funny animals. He can do them really well. Most of his pages are, albeit the 7 foot tall guardians of the planet, but you get the Cagliose, or the Camuncoli, or the Landi. It's like it's just one page is more beautiful than the next, and they all look different. Is what's really getting me. They all look different, and it's just a good issue to me. It was. I had a 3-page limit this week.
What does that mean?
If it didn't reach out and grab me by the lapels in 3 pages or less, I wouldn't finish it. I wouldn't devote time to it. Right, and this worked. This and the other thing that I read worked really well in 3 pages or less. Can't say the same for the majority of the stuff I read, but for the most part, for the 2 issues, worked really well. David, you haven't read this?
I have not read No, I didn't read the Scrooge. I was hoping to read more than I did, but the problem with my eye really messed me up the past couple days. So every time I did, I was trying to, because I finished I finished one thing last night. Actually, no, I tried to finish something last night, and I got a few more pages into it, and I finally just had to stop, and I finished it this morning. But yeah, the Scrooge has been on my list.
Oh, you'll love it for sure when you do.
Yeah, it's plain stuff. I mean, it's not unlike the superhero stuff that we read.
Right.
Where the
I think so.
Yeah, if you switch them out for Spider-Man or Captain America
Yep.
or something, it's just the same thing.
Yep.
It works. Works really well.
It does.
Uncle
Jason Aaron's had a hell of a comeback.
he has. I gotta give him props.
Yep.
Uncle Scrooge, Earth's Mighty Stuck, #1. Go get it. Go read it. Go read it. It's really good.
Get it.
It's one of the only good things this week.
Well, I read a bunch of stuff that I love, but it didn't come out this week, so maybe that's why.
the problem, right?
Yeah. I was catching up with our boy JEC, James Edward Clark, a.k.a. the visual voice of The Wonderful Tales to Enlighten Volume 1, of course. James is running a bit of a sale right now where you could get... he's trying to sell his books, of course, as any indie creator is wont to do. But he was running a sale where for $125, you get a commission, and you get all 4 of his books. Which I was like, oh shit, that is a phenomenal deal. I'd pay $125 just for a commission from the man. So hit him up, and I ordered everything. This is a couple weeks ago that this all happened, which is why I'm talking about the books now. The good news is the sale is still on, so if y'all like what I have to say about these books, I damn sure can tell you like his art. I've got a ton of commissions from him. He always delivers there. It's a hell of a deal. And if you don't want the commission, you can just buy the books, I think, for $60. I think $60 gets you the books. But anyway, so there were 4. Now, they're not all... They're 2 of the 4 are legit stapled together paper mini comics. Super fun. There is 30 Nudes, which is exactly what you would expect. It is a mini comic of 30 beautifully drawn nude women, like figure work study. Then there is the Electric Ant, which I know perks your ears up, Vince.
Mm-hmm.
It is JEC's mini comic rendition of the Philip K. Dick story. For listeners who aren't familiar with Philip K. Dick's work, The Electric Ant's one of his more famous short stories. It involved a man basically getting in a crash and being hospitalized, and then being told upon his hospitalization that he's not in fact human. He is an electric ant, basically a cyborg. And he kind of goes through a journey of self-discovery after that. So this is JEC's version. Now I gotta laugh because in the opening page you've got Triplan CEO Garson Poole, who is the electric ant in this case, laying in a hospital bed, and his left hand is missing, right? And then one of his coworkers comes in and says, "Oh my God, thank God you're alive." And Garson says, "I don't have a right hand." And I'm like, huh. I'm like, wait a minute. So then I'm looking, next page, turn to page. Still, it's his left hand missing. And he's like, "Yeah, I just, your right hand was cut off." I'm like, my man JEC was like drawing this in the mirror or something. Now, it's a minor nit, and I love the book. I just have to laugh, though, because the first few pages, he drew the guy with no left hand, but kept saying it was his right hand that was cut off. But beyond that, though, great rendition of the story. Basically, the CEO is made to realize he, in fact, is an electric ant and is just a puppet meant to let the powers that be run this corporation from behind the scenes, and he goes on a journey of self-exploration, including realizing that there's a cassette tape in his chest that basically gives him all of his instructions. And this is all straight from Philip K. Dick's. It's a pretty faithful adaptation in that regard. And starts messing with the tape, and then basically because of that goes on essentially a massive cosmic trip and gains a new level of understanding, and all the while, of course, you've got your obligatory JEC beautiful buxom women involved in the process as well. And it was great. It was, like I said, it's a little mini comic. It's probably, I don't know, 12, 15 pages, maybe 20, I don't know, but it's another little nice little stapled mini comic.
You're that guy.
And then there's what's that?
I would have thrown your reply right in the garbage.
Reply?
Because he chose the wrong hand. He knows it. I know you didn't reply to him, but if you did send it to him, I would have taken that and thrown it into garbage.
Well, I wouldn't be rude and send it to him.
Well, he listens.
Well, I don't know that he does because he didn't mention the podcast when he gave me the books. But anyway, regardless of that, okay, it's a weird aroma. Okay, I'll continue on. The books themselves are a blast. The first one is Evil, which is a book that he did. He wrote and drew it. It's a full-on graphic novel. It's probably about 180 pages, give or take.
Jesus.
He did this one before Tales to Enlighten. I would assume it's how Matt was aware of him and they hooked up to do Enlighten. That's my guess. But Evil is a story featuring the person I was at the intro, Sammy Destino. He is a luchador, wears a white lucha mask, barrel-chested wrestler turned superhero, Dudley Do-Right type character. And he, in this book, is trying to keep Maria de los Angeles, this beautiful, buxom woman, alive because her family has been cursed for centuries by the Space Thunder Death Cult. And they are trying to sacrifice her to open a portal so that Satan can come through and take over our earthly plane. And Sammy is this book is if anyone listening to this read Tales to Enlighten, and he damn well should have, JEC's art is badass, and he's great at drawing absolutely zany stuff, cosmic stuff. He loves drawing the sexy stuff. He loves drawing the over the top action adventure, and this is all of that. This is just a blast of high adventure. It's got professional wrestling, but like at a cosmic level, where this Hulk Hogan character is basically being put up against the real Satan in a wrestling match, and Sammy has to intervene and help save him. You've got the Death Cult themselves, of course. You've got a million different crazy rendered characters, ranging from devil assassins to werewolves to like troll-looking pederast that has got like yellow skin and long fingers. Just really, really great creative design. And the fun thing is that Sammy basically brutally beats, kills, and maims each and every one of them throughout this book, chapter after chapter. Just a blood-soaked trail of heroic vengeance. It's great, man. It was an absolute blast. It's like one of those books you strap in on page one and you just hang on for dear life for 200 pages of action and adventure, and then catch your breath at the end. And it was awesome. I don't know why it took this long to read it. I'm not sure why I didn't know about this before or after we discovered him through Tales to Enlighten, but better late than never. So that was Evil. And then the last book, which is the newest, it was actually a Kickstarter last year, and that is Pissant Apocalypse. And Pissant Apocalypse is, as you might imagine, a future story. And we have an unnamed protagonist. He is this yellow-skinned, muscular dude. He kind of looks like the Hulk. Not really though. Like it's a little more human, kind of like more like Peter Rasputin, I'd say, only with yellow skin. And dude is kind of like a Conan type. Like he's just going about this apocalyptic world, kind of living his life, earning his way through being a badass. He's got a lover slash concubine that's with him, and she's like 9 months pregnant from the look of it, and most of the time is walking around with a mask on and a ball gag. But like every now and then, like when they're decamping, they'll be sitting by the fire and he'll just be banging her out, or like sucking on her titties and drinking her milk, or but like she seems to love him. Like it's not like so it's, it's a little weird. It's definitely transgressive, but it's fun. And he's just going about his existence until they come across, in classic JEC form, a beautiful, buxom brunette who needs saving. And it turns out that there are 4 architects of the apocalypse. Of course there are, right? Why wouldn't there be? And he has to go about his business of finding them and killing them to stop the apocalypse. So he's got to fight General Candy, he's got to fight the Engineer, he's got to fight the Alchemist, and then ultimately he's got to fight the head honcho, the king of the world, and all of their minions. And that's what this book is. This book is him going on these 4 killing sprees while also having a little fun with his lady love. At night, a little schnicky schnack at night when he's decamping, and again, transgressive, over the top, wonderful visuals, super duper fun. JEC makes super fun, ridiculously silly, sexy, violent comics, and I needed to make a hell of a lot more because every one of these was an absolute banger. So, yeah, I wish it was easy for you guys to buy these books. Like, you can't just unfortunately go to a store. Although I do think they will be part of Power Pulp, which is cool. But the best way to get any of these books right now is to go to JEC's socials. If you just go to Instagram and search for James Edward Clark, or if you want the direct, it's James _Edward _Clark, but you could just search for it. He only has one post pinned on his Insta, and it's the link to these books and the commission if you so choose as well. So highly recommend them. They're hella fun. If you don't have a total stick up your ass, and you're not a Puritan, and if you are those things, why would you be listening to us after all these years?
Truth.
Check these out. It's really fun. So, and I can't even pick a favorite because I thought Evil and Pissant Apocalypse were both equally ridiculously over the top and sexy and fun. So great. I'm stoked. I'm stoked because we've known about him for a long time. It's great to feel like I just stumbled upon a treasure trove of new fun comics.
So you got
awesome.
300 plus pages.
More than that, I'd say, because it's let's see, Evil's probably I'm guessing 180, and that's full size, comic size, like normal trade dress. Pissant Apocalypse is more like a digest. It's perfect bound, but it's a digest. And these are both full color. I'd say that's probably I don't have page numbers, that's why I'm guessing. I'm guessing 150, 160 pages. So it's still 300, maybe let's say 350 pages plus the mini comics. So maybe just shy of 400 pages of comics.
Plus the OA?
Well, the OA was, plus the OA for $125. But if you just want the comics, it's $60.
You stole it. You stole it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the guy's he just wants people to read his stuff.
Oh my God.
So
I ended up with Pissant Apocalypse during one of his commission sales from a couple of years back.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I really, really like his art. It's a great.
His
style.
art is just fantastic. It's so distinctive too.
Yeah. And he and Matt hit a home run with the first Tales to Enlighten. It was a bit of a bummer that he wasn't in it for the long haul for the second volume, but still, we had a great anthology there. But no, his style is unique, and it's so well suited for the stories he's telling too. So it's doesn't try to fit into that mainstream bullpen style. It's just these are stories he's telling, and absolutely nothing wrong with that. I dig it a lot. I might get in on that deal. That is pretty sweet. Speaking of porn, there was a and Kickstarter This is from last year, and as I'm going through stacks of things as I'm reading them, this is Sapphic Pulp, Collected Tales of Love and Desire, all stories in this anthology written by Natasha Alterici, and art by Natasha, Chloe Brailsford, Rye Hickman, Fellhound, Rachel Merrill, Skylar Partridge, Safamet, and Chloe Stwaski. And the stories are all female forward. They're there's, let's see, one, two, three, four stories written and drawn by Natasha. Everybody, the rest of them, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's about 11 stories total, and they're everything from first story is about a young woman who hires someone to have sex with, and the conversations are very real because the woman doing the hiring has only been with, has pretty much only dated men. Was with one woman because she had they had crossed paths. She kissed her, and it changed this young lady's life, and so now she's all in. But this is the first time, that she paid for it, and she wanted to. She's looking to gain some experience. So is a touching story. We have a meetup at a party because someone is feeling a little jilted because she was with Sophie was with her friend, but her friend is actually hooking up with a guy, and now Sophie's feeling some kind of way, and a tall stranger comes in and kind of rescues her a bit from spiraling out into being miserable at the party, and they hit it off. There's one about a couple people at a gym, and it's a completely silent story, and we're just watching them going through whether they're at the benches or lifting weights or on the treadmills or playing racquetball. You can kind of read between the lines there. There's one with a young woman who is who's trying to get the top score at an arcade, and she's playing the arcade game, and the person who she had beat, actually no, the person who's also on the top 10, she's not happy that this young woman has gotten the top score, and they start flirting. But while they're playing, the new girl's woman shows up and is getting pissed because this young woman beat the high score, and now there's somewhat of a threesome happening. My favorite story is about an art class, and it is probably I don't want to say it's the most erotic, but it's up there based on the way Natasha drew the women and the angles that they're in. But yeah, it's the art instructor is a bit of a prick, but they have the assignment to do a portrait, and the two girls that are friends that are a couple, they go to the dorm and they just have a blast. I absolutely love the way Natasha drew this story. There's one about an intersex woman and her partner. There's one about this one that takes place in an office. I mean, they're all over the place. The art style is pretty much similar throughout. Completely black and white anthology. It was there were a slew of covers. There's even one set like back in the 50s or so, and two couples, the hetero they would appear to be, show up for one couple shows up to their friend's place, and they're having that kind of 50s style conversation about the type of warranties they buy on their grills and their appliances and state of the art ranges, and the women are talking about recipes, and then the men decide to go out and have a cigar while the women retire to talk about other stuff. And so the women go upstairs and they start having fun. But then you pan away from the house, and out on the patio, one of the dudes is giving the other guy head. So it's everybody's happy. But it was a really fun anthology, and I think I know a couple of our friends also backed it. But this was a lot of fun. And if I would imagine some of these conversations were had in real life. I don't know if anybody was working through any of these stories, but they definitely feel, well, some more than others, but they definitely feel lifelike and basically true stories. But yeah, I want to see what else Natasha does art-wise, because I am a big fan of the art just based on this anthology. I'm not sure if it is available anywhere else at the moment. It was the PDF I'm skimming through now because I left the book downstairs. It's doesn't have any ordering information, at least not on the copyright page. So I'll have to find out if it's still available. But Sapphic Pulp is the Collected Tales of Love and Desire is the name of the book. If you are interested in anthologies, almost the complete opposite of the one I read last week or a couple weeks ago regarding the men's romance, then this will be right up your alley. I had a massive kick out of this.
Nice. Few things are more proof of a higher power than sapphic love.
It just looks good.
It really does.
It looks good. Yeah.
Scissors for days.
Yeah.
They finally understand that all they're here for is my entertainment.
There you go.
There they go.
There it is.
What else we got?
I've had this book for a minute, and again, like you've been doing, Vince, I've been trying to just be intentional and go into the comic room and pick stuff off the shelf or off the piles, more accurately. Be like, I bought this. Let me read it. And this was driven in part by the fact that the second volume is solicited this month, and so I thought, like maybe I should read the first volume before I decide if I want to order another hardcover of the second volume, to make sure that it's not money not well spent. So I finally read Planetes, which is Planetes.
Jeez, took you long enough.
I know, right?
Get like me.
And wait, what do you mean?
It takes me forever to read them.
Oh, yeah. Now, have you read this?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so. This is a manga, which is why I thought you'd read it. It is published by Dark Horse Manga. Now, the original was serialized by Kodansha from 1999 to 2004. So it's not too old. It's 20 years old. Written and drawn by Makoto Yukimura. And it's legitimate space sci-fi, which I feel like is not at least not like we used to, like some of the all-time classic manga and anime or that, right? But I feel like these days I don't know that there are too many of those floating around. So it was a nice sort of thematic change of pace. It was great, man. I mean, I expected it to be really good because it had come so well reviewed by so many people that we know. But yeah, it's a massive tome. I mean, I think it's the equivalent of like 4 tankobons, the collection. I think it's 8 or 9 complete story arcs in the book. And ultimately, it's a little hard to describe because it's fairly complex. But in essence, I mean, at the heart of it is a group of this is in the future where like space. It's space travel's fairly common, and so they're in a situation where the Earth is is such that they've needed to space travel to get resources because we've depleted our own resources on Earth. Again, all very, I think, common sci-fi tropes. But the story revolves around a group of astronauts, but they're basically space garbage men. Their job is to dispose of all of the space debris that has been piling up, around the planetary atmosphere, and poses a real threat to space travel, as it would. In a world where there were lots of space vehicles, that would make sense. And this is basically a story of their lives and their work. So in a way, it's slice of life, but it's slice of life very much in like a meld with sci-fi. It's not like, this isn't like On a Sunbeam, right? With Tilly Walden doing space slice of life. That was like heavy slice of life, like in a sci-fi setting. This is more of sort of like, I guess, soap operatic. I mean, their lives are definitely a big part of this story, but not at the expense of there being a broader, more sort of action-centric narrative in most of the volumes. But there's some really beautiful things in this book. Like in the first story, one of the astronauts is out on like a spacewalk trying to get a piece of debris, and floating through space, like a debris storm comes, and floating through the debris storm is a pocket watch. And he grabs after it. He almost dies because he tries to stretch out to grab for it and kind of breaks protocol. And not a compass. I'm sorry, not a compass. Like one of those old, classic compasses. And it turns out that the compass was his deceased wife's prized possession. It was her family heirloom. And it was lost in an accident when she died. She also did the same job, and she died in an explosion years before. And basically her body got exploded, and she had the compass on her, and it flew off into space. And so imagine being in space, right? And the randomness of this, you just happen to be in the right rotation of the planet, and in the right moment this compass comes back into his life. So I just it's stuff like that happens, and it's I think really beautiful writing. And visually executed well, but there's all kinds of, like I said, there's 9 arcs. You learn about a lot of them. You learn about their histories. There's situations where one of them has effectively a disease, and the disease is born out of basically living your life in space. So he's got osteoporosis and brittle bones, and his muscles are largely atrophied, and he's got to deal with that. And it's just this fascinating look of, I guess, what life would be like if you were a worker bee in the future in space, right? And it wouldn't be all. It would be, there'd be a lot of the same kinds of things that a working class person deals with here would still be the things you're dealing with then, even if it seems cool and futuristic. And yeah, it was great stuff, man. I'm definitely in it for the second volume for sure. I think that anyone that likes genuine hard sci-fi would like this book for sure. So yeah, highly recommend it. Planetes, Volume 1.
I agree.
I don't know if it's Planetes or Planetes. I don't know.
I think it's planets.
Oh, straight up planets?
Yeah, I think it's planets.
Well, why isn't it PLANETS then?
That's the way it goes off in my head.
Okay, yeah.
How it is in real life.
I just got done saying I don't know how it says.
I don't know. Yeah. I think it's about loneliness.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the way that people process any kind of visual or auditory stimulus compared to the loneliness. It's just how to be on your own for extended periods of time. Yeah. That's what Planets is about.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and there's one of the characters is this really tall woman, and then they find out that she's actually was born on the moon. So she's actually only 12 years old. They thought she was a grown woman, but she's so big because of the disparate biology of her growing up in a place without much gravity. Just just fun little things like that. Just again, like the real, like genuine sci-fi stuff. It was really fun.
I'd be lying if I didn't say I didn't want to see a porn version of that character.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Full disclosure.
Kickstarter.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's been so long since I've read it. Maybe I'll turn the tables. Because I don't have the version that you have yet. I have the, I think it's 1 or 2 for Tenkabon combined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You have the upscale recently published version.
Yeah, it's like Dark Horse hardcover.
Yeah.
I would assume. I know you. I assume it looks to me like it's the same dimensions and style of the Berserk ones that you.
Oh Jesus! For sure, I don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like I think they do the Trigun too, right? Like I think it's,
yeah.
I think it's Because isn't he the same? Isn't he also Trigun? Isn't it the same guy? I think that might be the.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't. But it could be. It could be. More towards me saying not that it's the same guy, but then
no, you know what he is. He's Vinland Saga. That's his other book.
Ah, okay.
So.
The other book that got me was, and this goes back to the last episode. I was talking about a Batman book. Last episode, or before that, whatever the case. That it takes a long time for me to get wrap my head around Batman. It has to be drawn by somebody who I would like to see draw Batman, who doesn't draw Batman most of the time, right? I've read Superman, The Kryptonite Spectrum, Book 1, by W. Maxwell Prince.
Your ice cream man guy.
Yeah, Martin Morazzo and Chris O'Halloran. And Superman is in a bad spot to begin with, whereas we have X amount of kryptonite, right? Pretty much standard living, but we found more kryptonite. Superman is doing an experiment with his little robot buddy, and they find a chunk of krypton. It just so happens that this chunk contains 4 different kinds of kryptonite, all new, right? Purple kryptonite, cobalt kryptonite, speckled kryptonite, and rainbow K. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now Superman doesn't do it alone. He relies on his friends to help him out. In this case, Batman, right? I mean, who would you ask to help you out with something that could potentially kill you than one of your best friends? And Batman, a.k.a. Bruce Wayne, keeps giving him the straight dope. I think you're nuts. I think you're stupid. What you're doing can kill you. I would not do it. I would lead line it and wrap this kryptonite up and put it away and be done with it. Superman's like, nah, I really would like to know what these things do. And it's amazing when you see Superman drawn in a way that you haven't seen quite drawn this way before. The closest I can approximate is the Grant Morrison 12-issue series.
All-Star?
Yeah, the All-Star Superman that was Frank Quietly did the art on that, and it was just like it was Superman, but it wasn't quite Superman. In this issue, this is only the first of I don't know how many.
I think 5.
Superman doesn't look like himself. The Lex is more towards the movie version of the for what I've seen. But the Superman is different. It's strange. It's odd. It's unsettling. Batman pretty much looks like Batman, give or take. But more or less, more or less. You didn't think so?
It's the cowl is a bit weird compared to other renditions, but I mean, considering how Morazzo is drawing Superman, and it not to derail, it's interesting that you said Frank as a version, because I don't know why I really didn't. I know why I didn't see it when I read Ice Cream Man, but as considering this is superheroes, for some reason I was getting a bit of a Seth Fisher vibe.
Okay. I mean, I see it.
Because things are, I mean, things aren't wonky, but they're just a tad different, which is fine. I don't dislike it. It's a Black Label book. It's you know, it's not necessarily in continuity, but it's still it. I like the look of it. It's just yeah, as it's a like Batman's neck is it's kind of thin or skinny, and yeah, the cowl is throwing me off. But I mean, no, it's still, you can tell it's Batman. It's obviously Batman. It's just it's a slightly different take. They're not Kelly Jones ears. They're not they're not. But yeah, it's. I'm more comfortable with Superman in this book than I am with Batman, if that makes sense.
Batman is getting the crap kicked out of him in this book.
Yeah,
I mean, he is looking broken ribs, broken. I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but he gets broken a lot of things, and it's also one of those things that plays with the conventions of comics. You know, whether you take the panels and you reshuffle them or switch them around. We see the fight between Superman, Batman, and Solomon Grundy, and certain things happen out of order, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But you can shuffle them around and put them back in order if you cut out the pages. Yeah, you know, if you want to go that far. But for the most part, Lois is kind of pissed off because she's not getting any younger, and you know, she wants a kid. You know, they do test the Superman Kryptonite, and it puts Superman's mind out of order. I don't know if I should say anything else against that. It would be better if you experienced this issue yourself. But I thought it was great. Needless to say, me, who doesn't read Superman pretty much at all, thought it was wonderful. I don't know how the resident Superman expert claims, but in my opinion, it was perfect.
It was talk about me.
You are the resident Superman expert.
Okay. I've been looking forward to this for more than a minute. I love this. This was a lot of fun. I'm stoked to see where we go from here with as Clark experiments with the different versions of K. It's a I did not know what to expect, but once you're a couple pages in, it pretty much starts to it all makes sense. Yeah, I mean Lex is the typical old school Lex Luthor version where you know, Superman's an immigrant and it's just how dare he take any of my headlines, and everybody should love me, and then he's pissed that Superman found these new versions of Kryptonite before he could. And yeah, I had a bringing Bruce in or Batman in, and I was, because at first I was trying not to be hypocritical or just be so hypercritical of it. Okay, well he just mentioned Bruce, but if this is a Black Label book, like, do we know? Like, which, so I was just trying. I was just trying to enjoy the story instead of trying to like overthink things. And because even early on, you don't tend to see or hear or read Clark kind of shorten or slang words too often, because when he talks about when he came to Earth and who adopted him, he's like, God bless, or no, Raoul bless Jonathan and Martha Kent. I call them, with the apostrophe em, Ma and Pa, and I've never really seen Superman shorten them before. So it was right away, like I was real comfortable with where Prince was going with the story, and once I just sat back and just took it at face value without figuring out or trying to guess where things are going or read a story that I haven't written. I just let it go, and it was a blast. I mean, with Morazzo's art and if I'm going to nitpick anything, it's the fact that the S shield is like the size of a belt buckle. But other than that, I mean, it's still a Superman book, and it's a lot of fun. It definitely, it kind of has a bit of that Morrison Silver Age quality that he was going with All Star Superman, but just slightly tweaked and for my money, a lot more fun. And it's only been the first issue, so yeah, I mean, we're going to find out what the other Kryptonites do as the series continues, but it's wild, and it's a lot of fun, and I would definitely, whether you're a Superman fan or not, or I mean, obviously if you're an Ice Cream Man fan, I would say you'd enjoy this. But yeah, if you're a Superman fan, period, you'll get a kick out of this. But I would definitely recommend it. Yeah, and it was weird. It's I'm glad that the Purple K worked out the way it did, but it was a little bit of memento as you're going through the issue, trying to figure out what's happening and when it's happening, and as Vince says, it all makes sense as long as you follow along. But it was wild. I'm so looking forward to book 2. This was great.
Maybe Morazzo is doing something special with the shield, because it's a conscious effort to make it that small. Don't you think?
I think so. Because even the bat symbol on Batman's chest is kind of
it's big. Do you think it's small, the bat symbol?
No. The bat symbol is larger than Superman's.
Okay,
symbol.
Yeah. And I'm thinking the super symbol is so small that there's got to be something in the works. There has to be. Maybe
such a broad chest, which is why it makes it look even smaller.
Makes it look even smaller, right?
Yeah.
But I could go through this a bunch of times. I forget how much it was, but it was worth every penny. And
for the hardcover.
That's
I will double dip for sure.
Right. Goes without saying, hardcover. So W. Maxwell Prince, Martin Morazzo, Chris O'Halloran, and the letterer. Go to good old Neon. Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum, #1. It's so good.
You even got Luther like mocking Grundy. Like, dude, like really? You got to stoop that low? Like, oh, he's like a poet. But Emo Hamilton, who looks nothing like the way Bush used to draw him, but still, I love it. I'm glad that Prince like brought him back for this. It was just to name drop him like that. It was cool.
Yeah, Lex is an idiot, pretty much.
He's also a dick, but yeah,
he's an idiot and a dick, and it would be nice if he kills him at the end of this, but that would never happen.
Who knows?
But yeah, it's good stuff. I'm surprised Jason didn't read it. What are you laughing for?
I mean, why would I be the one to read? I'm not.
Superman
I'm the one who
and
doesn't
the
really
Ice
read
Cream Man
Ice
team?
Cream
Come
Man.
on.
It's good. It's real good.
No, I know you got. I mean, listen, I got. Again, I have nothing bad to say about Ice Cream Man. It doesn't grip me in the same way that it grips you guys.
There you go.
The Out of Alcatraz was a 5-issue miniseries that Oni had published, written by Christopher Cantwell, illustrated and lettered by Tyler Crook, and it's a 5-part miniseries. I think the collection is scheduled, but it's about 3 people who three fugitives who escape from Alcatraz, but only 2 of them make it to shore. One of them, the one who was left behind, is the brother of Clarence, who had made it. So the whole reason they broke out is because they were going to the woman who kind of basically coordinated the escape and their rescue. She was going to basically schlep them up to Canada, where they'd work on a farm for about 4 years or something, work off their freedom, and then be free to go. But things go a little haywire along the way. Once the warden and the guards find out that the prisoners had escaped, there's the FBI is called and the marshals, and so you got a couple of G-men who are after him. There's a bit of a of some well, the dude from the FBI and Cy and Bob, they work for different government organizations, but they're a couple, and so they try not to, because obviously in this age, being queer isn't exactly going to be could be a little bit frowned upon back at work. So turns out though that the guy who was left behind, the older brother who homeboy left in the drink, didn't drown, didn't succumb to the water. So he's now in the mix, and he's trying to find out. He's trying to find where everybody is, and it becomes this crazy short story, only because of the time span, only because of the few days that it all takes place over. But it's all about getting out of California, heading up the coast, trying to get to Canada, and Crook's art is absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous, and I mean the colors are vibrant to where they need to be, subdued, and when it matters, it's I really like Crook's art, but it's you absolutely feel like you are, whether you're in the bar or at the gas station or at the rundown house or on the side of the road. This one dude who ends up, because homeboy decides to go to the fucking bank and or the post office to get stamps. He's recognized because he's obviously on the frickin' wanted poster. And then on his way out of the post office, this other dude stops him, and now he ends up enlisting the 2 of them and the woman who orchestrated their escape. He's a ranch hand, or he I don't want to say he owns the ranch. His wife owns the ranch. She wants a divorce. He doesn't want to give her a divorce because everything's hers and he'll be left with nothing. So he wants these 2 dudes to kill her, so this way he gets everything. And that adds a wrinkle to things, and it adds another layer that wasn't expected, but adds to the drama and the tension. It was wild. It was one of those things because as I read the first issue and going into the second, I'm like, how are they going to like kind of just not drag it out, but how is this going to run these 5 issues? And you know, well, Cantwell showed me, but it was it's gruesome. It's not gory, but it's heavy at spots because of how these people behave and the actions they take. But it's still I can't take my eyes off the pages. The art is just absolutely amazing. But yeah, it was a wild ride. Absolutely recommend it. I don't know if I can't remember the last time I saw Escape from Alcatraz. So I mean, I'm not going to compare it, but it's crazy. I think I would definitely recommend it to anybody looking for something different or just fans of great art, because all 5 issues of this had it. So definitely something I would check out if you can, and when it's collected. So yeah, out of Alcatraz from Oni.
Tyler Crook is a goddamn master.
Oh, it's insane. It's insane.
Tyler Crook is too good.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
It is.
Yeah.
To the point where I wonder how good the story is. I mean, yeah, I'm taking your word for it, but it's Tyler Crook art.
Yeah.
So how, you know what I mean? Like, how good is it actually? Put it this way. If you could take Tyler Crook out of the equation and insert someone else, who would you pick?
Yeah, they make it. Oh, I mean, I know that there are those that would still be able to kind of tell Cantwell's story, but I don't know who would be able to do it as deftly or invoke the feelings you'd have reading this, other than Crook. Yeah, I'd have to. Yeah, I don't know.
Jason, anybody?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I haven't read it. So
Okay, all right.
Maybe McCaig. I don't know. It's weird. I don't. Damn.
Mull it over.
Yeah.
I'll have to. Yeah. We love you so much. We do. And we have a Kickstarter. No, we do. We don't have a Kickstarter. We have a 3, 2.
Slack.
Well, yeah.
Patreon.
What time is it exactly? It is exactly 10:18. Okay. 3, 2, 1. We have Patreon. We'd like you to check it out. It's patreon.com/11 o'clock comics. 11 OC, no apostrophe. 11 o'clock comics. And there's 2 tiers. It's very simple, very easy. Check them out. And wherever you listen to this, leave us a review. Good, bad, different, glowing, doesn't matter. Just be honest. Be truthful. And last but not least, cheapgraphicnovels.com. cheapgraphicnovels.com. If you want to get your books for less than everybody else is paying, cheapgraphicnovels.com. In your travels, this is going to be a half-assed to be push this, because I liked some of it. I didn't like all of it. It says Midst, Tales from the Cosmos, created by Matt Rohn, Sarah Wiley, and Zen of Third Person. Letters by Jim Campbell. Cover art by William Kirby. Right? And then as you go along, it says Midst, address unknown. Script by Colin Lornier. What? Art by Alejandro Aragon. Colors by Chris O'Halloran. Or Midst. Or Midst, the Valeris Farmer. Script, Jasmine Walls. What? Art, Aviv Orr. Colors, Quentin Winter. Or Midst, it's called Ripples. Midst, Ripples. Script by Kendra Wells. What? Art by Vash Taylor. Colors by Valentina Bianconi. It's like, who's in charge of this thing? I just gotta know. I don't know. But it is one of those high concept works where there's two, I won't spoil too much of it. There's two different versions of reality. And they're both depicted in the logo. That's all I'm going to say. So I think that each of the stories were 3 issues. By far the best one is the first one, Address Unknown, written by Lernier, art by Aragon, colors by Halloran. I think it was beautifully done. One of those stories that sticks with you a long time. You get a change of perspective where the world looks like X before and looks like Y the next page, which is very helpful to me because especially when you're selling a concept like this, that it is very helpful when you back it up by good, solid reasoning. You know, the other 2 stories were good; they were okay, but it's the first story, the one Address Unknown, that I think really sells the Midst concept. Let's just call it. So, if you're in the mood to explore a world that we haven't been to, at least not me, check out Midst, Tales from the Cosmos by Dark Horse. It roughly contains about 12 issues. 3, 6, 9. 9 issues. And I thought it was pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm liking the preview pages.
Yeah, and the second story didn't do too much for me. It was okay. I liked the art in the second story, whereas the storyline didn't do too much. Whereas in the third story, I liked the story, but I didn't like the art at all in the third one. Your mileage may vary. Midst. M-I-D-S-T. Midst.
Not to be confused with mid.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem.
Or Mist from Border Bun.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Now we're talking. That was my game back in the day, son.
That fucking game. And your travels. Oh, shit. I didn't realize this is also from Oni.
Oni.
By Jordan Thomas and Danielle Gete, Gete. Come Skin Police, Volume 1. I know the second volume is, or at least Season 2, whatever the hell you want to call it, is coming out soon, and it's good. I'm glad it is, because this trade ends on the cliffhanger. It collects the first 4 issues. I kind of thought maybe I'd get somewhat of a complete story that could then trail into a second volume, but no, looks like it's gonna continue right into the second volume. But basically, the year is 2142, and the fertility levels have around the globe have plummeted. So
as it do, yeah.
Yeah. So amidst the chaos, there's a black market for illegal clone babies, and so basically The pitch is war, government turmoil, coups, mass immigration means these so-called duplicates are untraceable, often not aware themselves that they are living, breathing crimes against nature. Apparently, 25% of these clones, of these babies, of these dupes, survive and are able to grow into stable, functioning adults. 75% of them, the ones that are unstable, they pop and becoming vicious, homicidal monsters. So you've got certain countries have taken their own approach to how to handle this particular crisis. The United Nations of Europe have upheld an unforgiving stance, creating a special government division to hunt down and remove these deadly ticking time bombs. They're the DIC, or the Duplicate Identification and Capture Division, also known by or referred to by the public and derogatorily as the Skin Police. And again, the art in this is absolutely amazing. The story takes place. We start off in 2176, and our hero of the story is someone who it goes by the name of Ekis, and he's pretty much kind of the hero of the force. Brisson Ekis he's got a pretty high body count. He has a partner who is injured. She's currently in a coma, and he's Ekis is married. They have a baby. But there's another character that the story grabs a hold of, and she's a duplicate. And she, the thing is, a lot of times duplicates don't know that they're even dupes. Something triggers when the time comes. They bleed from their eyes and their ears. That's when they pop, and that's when they go ballistic. And the first issue, the opening scene, is kind of like out of something Tom Cruise would do in Mission Impossible, because Ekis basically kind of just jumps from one plane to another because the dupe that's about to pop is on a plane and takes down the pilots and starts going apeshit on all the passengers. That's when Ekis makes it to the basically hang glides to the other plane, saves the day, and then most of the trade is Ekis not basically just doing his job, but while that's happening, the young woman who her stepmother is basically ratting her out. She calls the cops and says, "Yeah, my late husband, God rest his soul, he loved this girl, but I don't trust her, and I don't feel comfortable or safe. So I think maybe you guys want to come check her out." So she overhears the whole conversation. She leaves the apartment, dips out, and that's when she gets found by someone who is who basically, there's it's kind of a revolution. And so these duplicates have found a way to still be productive members of society. Basically, after they pop, they're given like a like a drug cocktail to keep things in check, and so they can still do what they need to do. But they're all underground right now. They're trying to find out. It looks they're basically trying to force the rest of the world to accept them now that they're pretty much safe. So Ekis, of course, they're still illegal. So it's a bit of a fight. And then the person who is behind it, or the guy who is currently in charge of these renegades, of this rebellion, if you want to call it that, there's a bit of a twist to him that's revealed in the closing pages of the first arc, and it wasn't necessarily telegraphed. I had a feeling they were going in this direction, but they were smart with their design or their layout choices as far as drawing particular characters and how much you could see of them. And it was still a neat reveal, but it was a reveal that I was kind of expecting. But overall, I dig the story. It's got that sci-fi feel to it that I like. There's the characters definitely have depth. You kind of want to root for Ekis. He's kind of a badass and he's just doing his job, but at the same time you also want to maybe understand why. I mean, if people were cloning, if they were sampling their own genetic material so they could create babies, and obviously things didn't go the way they expected, and that's why so few of them survive over the long haul. But I mean, they're still living, breathing, and so should they have a right to exist? And it's just sort of a little bit of a dilemma there. But overall, the art helps move the story along. But it's still a neat concept. I dig it. I'll check out the second volume when I can. But yeah, in your travels, Skin Police, also from Oni Press.
Not to be confused with Skin Flute, the sequel.
That's true. That is true.
Word up. I got a little ghost machine for that ass in your travels.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, caught up on the Rocketfellers. I had been enjoying the book at Jump for sure, and then I was a little put off by the Christmas issue, like so fresh out of the Jump. I was like, man, it's a little early to be doing this like a one shot, like feel good, cheery, like side story, but whatever. But it was a minor nit, and I should remind everyone, it's written by Peter Tomasi with art by Francis Manapul, colors by Rob Lee. But I did catch up and read 5, 6, and 7 this week, and I'm glad I stuck with it. It's a lot of fun, and I will say, I gotta mea culpa to Tomasi because the Christmas story comes back around and has purpose, and I didn't expect that. So, hats off to him. He had a plan all along. This is continuing this. I mean, it's really just one continuous arc, right? It's this family that are from far-flung future, and they're hiding out here in 2025 for reasons we're still learning. But they're basically on the they're on the lam, so to speak. And we also know that the people from the future that they're hiding from are very much traveling all around the timescape, trying to find them, and probably are eventually going to find them, and there'll be some comeuppance. But in the 5th issue, it's their youngest daughter takes a tumble, and they have to bring her to the hospital. And while they're at the hospital, a bunch of Russian mobsters show up at their crib because the son's been doing like a crypto mining thing, because they're all like from the future, so they're pretty much like super geniuses, just because they're so used to so much more advanced technology. So he's been doing like a crypto mining thing, like to make money for the family, and I guess he's been taking money from this set of twins. They kind of look like Arcade from Marvel, like two twins, but they're like Russian oligarchs and annoying as fuck, and they find out who's stealing money from them, and they track it back to this house, and so they go in to investigate. But even though the Rockefellers are at the emergency room, our boy Rex, the dog, is there, and Rex, in effect, he fucking uses his little cybernetic ass and whoops this hit team's ass. Absolutely makes mincemeat of this Russian assassin group, and not only does he beat their ass, but he throws them all in a truck, hops behind the wheel, puts on a trucker hat, and then drives them to a shipyard and puts them into a ship that's heading off like into the far-flung coasts around the world. So it was just awesome. It was awesome to see Rex doing his thing. And then the 6th issue is officially the end of the first story arc. Although again, I kind of feel like it's all one arc. But the eyeball that we've seen throughout the book, like the one kind of floating eyeball that's been in suspended animation, gets loose and goes on the attack, and we find out whose eyeball it is. And we also discover that that one of the other daughters, as well as the bird that she's friends with, Ray and the bird, have some kind of techno-organic infection that they have to deal with. And then we begin to realize that all of that is tied into what the family were doing in the research labs back in the future, and why they may be left. It starts all kind of coming together. And then issue 7 is we learn all about who the woman in the mask is, the antagonist that we've been seeing throughout the first arc. This awesome, kind of looks like half cyborg female killing machine. She's got this like green, almost looks like a green insectoid metal mask that she wears. But we find out who she is, and I don't think it's a spoiler to say she's family, because they've been alluding to that pretty heavily throughout the book. But we find out exactly who she is, what her relation to the rest of the family is, and start learning her backstory and why. I think in this arc we find out why, in fact, all of this is happening. I think by the end of this arc we see what the actual events are that drove them to leave the future, and why their family member is coming after them. So, yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. It's definitely tonally right up my alley, and I think that I think, as I probably said when we talked about the first few issues, I have precious little experience with Francis Manapul's art because I wasn't a regular reader of The Flash. And dude is a badass, absolute badass. Oh, yeah. I mean, his line is just crispy clean. It's beautiful. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying this book. And I don't know if it ends after the second arc. I don't know if that's the end or what the plan is, but I'm here for the ride for sure.
Look at you.
Right? Look at me.
Reading some good stuff for a change.
Ghost Machine, baby.
Before we go, speaking of space, you can help out our other fourth chair, the other co-host with the TF initials, Tana Ford's. She's offering a deal right now. You can get Space Cat soft cover signed for $25, a hardcover signed for $35. That includes shipping. By all means, you can also get them from your local bookseller. There's also there are bundles for art collectors. There's also she's drawing full color busts for $100, either on sketch covers or like 9x12 Bristol board. You can find her on tanaford.designs on Instagram or TikTok for all the information. She's got a video that details all the information there, or you can send her an email at hey@tanaford.com. But yeah, everything you need to get the book or some art is all available. So there's been so even though Space Cat debuts this week, Tana's been hit with some unexpected expenses and we've often, for as long as we've been doing this show, whenever any of our artist friends put that call out for any reason, whether it's vet bills, whether it's car repairs, whether it's home repairs, whether it's the Formites or the Slackers, folks tend to rush to pitch in. So hopefully some of y'all will. Tana does fantastic work, so definitely check it out if you can. Again, tanaford.designs on the socials.
Well said.
Who are we to spite David? When David finally...
Are you gonna buy the LaGuardia cover? That's what you should do.
Thinking about it, right, with the cat and everything. Yeah,
she's selling the LaGuardia cover, dude.
She is. Yeah, she got the whole bundle going.
Yeah,
and it is. Yes, and Space Cat is by the LaGuardia team. Tana, of course, drawing what Indy is writing.
Yay! Get yourself to a comic shop, buy some stuff, read some stuff, love it. Get online, or better yet, go in the real world and talk to people about it. Spread the joy of comics, especially people who don't understand comics. explain to them how it will change their life, their world. We may have another person with us. You never know. In the meantime, say goodnight. I don't have anything janked up. David.
Good night.
I didn't say it yet.
Yes, you did.
You did.
I did. I so did.
You done did it.
David.
We'll give you that one.
Oh, thanks.
We
Thanks.
we love you so much. Tell them how much you love them.
Love you
So
guys
much.
a million lots of it. All of it.
That's it for that one.